FightHype.com here with my man, Young Cuba. Cuba, hold on, where we at? Where we at?
We're at the Miami Steakhouse right now, you know, eating good, you know, life is good, enjoying.
Good, yeah. You guys just had a nice little team meeting.
Yeah,
going
yeah.
over your future plans. Speaking of your future plans, I mean, what's next? Have you decided?
Well, you know, I talked to Floyd that everything's getting finalized, but more than likely you'll see me on the May 3rd card. Either it'll be that. You know, there's a handful of cards that day. If it's not on May 3rd, I'll definitely be on either the night before, a couple of days before, or just the week before. You know, May's that first weekend of May will be extremely busy, especially for the money team. So I'm looking forward to just, you know, being on one of those dates. Everything will be finalized, you know, soon.
Obviously, you know, I talked to you immediately after your last fight. You know, you've had a little bit of time. Look at that Ella be trying to mess up our interview. I'm just messing up. Obviously, it's been a little bit of time since that fight. I'm sure you probably had a chance to take a look back on it. Have your thoughts changed about your performance? Is there anything you maybe you know reflected on and maybe figured, oh, maybe I could have done this different, maybe I could have done that different?
Overall, I mean, I'm pretty much the same. Like I said in the before, it was just a great learning experience. That was just a great fight. You know, I'm young. I only have a handful of fights. You know, he obviously had 3 or 4 times as many fights as me. He brought the experience to the table, and he made it a dog fight. You know, I wanted to box him. I wanted to control him from the outside. I figured I hadn't gone 8 rounds before, but that it would be no problem. But he definitely tested everything that I needed to be tested. You know, he came and tried to break my will. He made it into a fight thinking I was gonna fold, and I didn't. You know, he made me fight, and I fought back. It was a good hard 8 rounds that we went, and it was just a perfect learning experience for me in my career. You know, you can't take easy fights all the time, and these type of big fights, you know, are helping me move quickly and help me become more of a better professional. You know, I'm learning how to go the rounds the correct way, and now that I've been in that type of adversity and that type of a fight, next time that fight comes up, you know, I've already been there, done that. So it'll be more of just going through the memory and going through the process, you know. And so it's good. It's good. I'm happy. I'm happy with my performance. At the end of the day, I'm happy because we won. You know, which is the most important thing is that we won. I definitely could have done things better, but sometimes things need to go a little wrong way, you know, and towards the other way, so we can realize what we got to do to make sure that things go better the next time. You know, so like I said, another learning experience, a great fight, and I'm excited for the future. I'm excited from that learning experience, and I'm ready to grow from it.
Talk to me a little bit about your fighting style. Obviously, you have a very fan-friendly style. Is that something that, you know, is it something where you do it on purpose to try and please the fans, or is that just the way you fight?
I mean, that's just the way I fight. You know, a lot of, you know, even after the fight, a lot of things, you know, people were telling me that I need to work on my defense and I need to tighten this up, and that's true. You know, for the most part, I do need to get better with my defense, but it's just, I'm a warrior. You know, I'm a fighter. When it comes down to boxing, I know what I bring strong, what my strong points of the fight are always going to be. It's going to be that I'm aggressive and I like to fight, you know, and I know that. I know that that's the kind of fighter I am, and that's the type of fighter I will always be. So I will always be in those type of fan-friendly fights, you know, those type of fights that people just will talk about for weeks and weeks, and those type of wars. And I know that, and I'm aware of that, but you know, it is what it is, and that's just how it is. It's not that I don't let the fans get to me, or I don't let like the crowd get to it, but it's just I've always been an engaging fighter. I've always been a fighter that likes to sit down and take some shots and give you some shots, and I just have to learn how to just, you know, stretch that throughout my career and just make them big, exciting fights, but make sure that they're worth it.
Do you think your defense is a little underrated? I know, like during the fight, there were a couple times he landed a shot, and you know, like physically showed the judges, like, yo, that didn't land. That just hit me on my arm. So
I don't think it's underrated. It's more just overlooked because I'm just so more offensive. Like for the most part, you know, I do like to box and I can move around. I know how to use my legs, but at the end of the day, I just like to fight. You know, I like to fight. I want to wear you down and I want to knock you out. And I understand that I have a better chance of knocking you out by just being more aggressive. So just because, you know, I'm more of an aggressive fighter and I bring the fight to my opponent most of the time, that just overlooks of my defense. But I feel like I have a very good defense. It's just that you know, there's always going to be a point in time throughout a fight where you're going to have to sit there and bang. You're going to have to sit there, bite down, and get in a dog fight. And sometimes I just allow myself to get into dog fights a little too much, which, you know, it'll come with the experience. It'll come with the time where I will learn to save those dog fights for when it's necessary, you know. For like the last fight, I could have controlled him more. I could have boxed him much longer, but I dug down and got into those type of fights. I got into that dog fight a little too much. I let him dictate, you know, that part of the fight by letting him get into those dog fights with me. But it's good for the fans. That's why I keep saying I'm gonna be a fan favorite. I plan on selling out stadiums and selling out crowds, because I just know that the way I fight is just like that. I come to fight. I come to get in a war, and I come to knock you out.
Is it something where let's say for example, if you did start a fight and you moved a little bit more and you boxed a little bit more, let's say your opponent lands a good punch, do you think it's something where like a switch just kind of flips and you're just like, okay, let's go to battle, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sometimes I just know that in this sport, it's about the hard shots, you know. So if I'm tapping you, you know, I'm tapping you and I'm moving you, but I'm not really hurting you, I understand that a judge can see that type of a round differently, as long as if he lands 5 hard shots compared to my 13 not so hard shots, you know, a judge can see those 5 hard shots as him winning a round. So it just comes point in times where I can see that I'm boxing you, but I want to hurt you. At the end of the day, and for this game, in my opinion, it's about hurting you and me not getting hurt. So it just, when I get into engaging and then try and get instead of just tapping you and just touching you and get to trying to hurt you, that's when I open up, you know, and that's where I'm a little bit more vulnerable. But I'll get better at it with time, you know. As the rounds progress, as I start gaining more and more experience, I learn how to control those dog fights.
Obviously, we've talked about it before. I know you want to move quickly. You know, 2014. About how many fights do you see yourself getting in, or where do you want to be as far as your career is concerned at the end of 2014?
At the end of 2014, I should have already been on TV a handful of times to show you people that I'm a fan-friendly fighter. So my goal right now is just to try to get some good fights under me, some decent, good TV time to start proving to the world that I'm ready for that type of stage. So hopefully by the end of this year, I should be in title contentions of a talk with the title fight. I do plan on going a couple more 8-rounders, but I also do plan on fighting 10 rounds by the end of this year. You know, I'm gaining the experience, we're getting the right fights, and it's just a matter of just keep progressing, keep winning, and just when it comes to stepping up to the plate, make sure we step up on you 100%.
No doubt. Before I let you get out of here, let the fans know what they can expect next time you step in the ring, whether it's May 3rd, whether it's sooner, April, whatever.
Yeah, just keep your eyes open, be ready. My name is Luis Arias. You know, I'm gonna be an exciting fighter, and I hope to be your favorite fighter one day, and I'll be selling out crowds and doing all that good stuff.
Young Cuba, the only man that could rock an interview with a white beater on.
Right.
That's what's up.
Go ahead.